Hooray! It's springtime. It's time to get my seeds started, time to get the crops started. I don't have a big farm or a little farm. I don't even really have a big garden. But I have a small enough one where I can put in a variety of different vegetables, and come late summer, early fall, I get a nice harvest and, you know, a couple meals out of it. And it's pretty cool to start with one seed and end up with a meal that you can cook. So come on with me and we're going to start the process right now. Okay, so here I am. I'm just chopping up some tomatoes for gyros, and of course we've got lots of seeds. What are you going to do with the seeds? Well, you know what? We're going to grow a bunch of grape tomatoes. So as you can see, there's a whole whack load of them. So what do? With my handy dandy paper towels, and I just soak them all up. And they should, if I just did this right, pretty well all come up. What I've done is I just put a face cloth down so I don't ruin the really nice finish on this. And now I'll just leave them here to dry for a bit. So I want to see if growing celery works too. What I've done is I got the end of celery stalk that I'm going to use, and I'm going to try and see if I can actually get it to root and eventually get it out in my garden. So what I've got here is the celery I'm going to use, but rather than throw at the end, what I understand is if you cut the end, then you take all the celery you're going to use, but then you cut a bit off. Okay, so I can use all this. I've got the celery stalk, and I've got some water, and I put some paper towel in just to kind of hold it so it doesn't float. There. Now I'm going to let it go for a week or so, and I'm going to see whether this actually will root or not, because if it does, that's pretty cool. So I tried this celery. It's been sitting here. This one's been about a week or so. This one's only been a couple, 3 days, maybe 4. And you can see the growth on top. The same with the one that's been here a little longer, the growth on top. So now we're going to try onions. So I saw this. I thought it was pretty cool. So I have 2 cooking onions. Now, the trick with these is we want the bottom quarter. Okay, and the rest we can use for cooking. So you want not the top part. That's the top. That's the root part. So you want those. Now this is dead, but apparently it works out good. So, okay, here's the problem with being left-handed and the camera on the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this through like that. Okay, so that's still good use for good for cooking. So once again, the top and the bottom, and you want about a quarter of it. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside, put those in the fridge, and we'll use them. Now, what I understand is all these peels have to come off. So here's the fun part. Making sure we take all the peel off, because apparently the peels will rot, and we don't want that. So we want it to root. Now the idea is that they will regenerate, and we will get new roots there. So we're going to try it. Now what you do is, just like with a lot of the other root vegetables like green onions and that, which I haven't tried, I do want to try it. I just don't have any green onions. Great, now I can't even peel these off. But the idea is, there we go. You let them root in the water, and then we're going to plant these. Once they start rooting in about 4 or 5 days, okay, there we go. So there we go. So there's the bottom. And what I have here, let me push these over, is I've just some water. And I mean, I took the end of my oil container for this one. Once again, I didn't have enough. And this is just an experiment to see if this actually works. So what we're going to do is, all we're going to do is put it in the water like that. That's all. And just enough so that this is on the top. Now what should happen is in the middle there, we should see it start to sprout. And we're going to see. So this one I just took at one of my bowls. Okay, we're now going to get some seeds out of my favorite store, the potato bin at home. Hooray! So there's our 2 potatoes, and you can see they've already started sprouting. 1, 2. So we're going to get 6 out of these. So I got my knife, and what you want to do, or what I do is, see, I can see, so there's 1 right there. And then there's 2 eyes here, so I'm going to split that right down the middle. So now I have 3. But oh wait, we've got this one. So we're going to go like that for 1. And then that for 2. And you know what? I don't think we need that much, so let's go that way. And that's 3. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so now the next thing is we got to get them in the ground. So this is where you get to get dirty. So there you go. One potato. Now you don't want to cover them up completely, but you do want to get them in the ground. And they are going to root, so you know you definitely don't want to bury them. So there we go. There's that one, and then they're just kind of all nestled in there. They will definitely grow into potato plants. Here, we're just going to throw a little more potting soil in. And the coolest thing of all is they were potatoes that I was going to have a hard time using. Now, I started with grape tomatoes, and you saw I took the seeds. I also have beefsteak tomatoes. I had a hankering for a tomato sandwich, so I took those seeds the same way I did with the grape tomatoes. And I also have a packet of yellow tomatoes. I love yellow tomatoes. They're not as acidy as the red tomato, but they were hard to find, so I actually had to order the seeds. I did have some years ago, but somehow I've lost the seeds. So we're going to plant those 3 varieties, which I hope when we're ready to get out in the garden, that's what I'm hoping we're going to have. So these are the first ones we're going to do. So the first one was the grape tomato seeds, and I've got them on a piece of paper towel. And what I found was, first off, paper towels are 2-ply, which is kind of funny, ha ha ha. So I don't need the 2-ply, so we'll do that. Now what I'm left with is the tomato seeds that I dried out. So what I found was the easiest was I just kind of cut them into strips. And it sounds funny, you try not to cut the seeds. So here's our tomato seeds. And I'm just going to put them on top of the, let me spread that out a little more. I'm just putting them on top of the soil that I've made in a little rows. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'll show you in 1 second. Just hold on a sec. Okay, there we go. So what I did was I made a row, and I just ran my finger along like that. That way they're not too far down, and that way when I go to cover them up, it should be fairly easy. Beefsteak tends to be a little bigger seed than the grape tomato. It's enough to start on this row, so let's see what we can do here. And these, of course, once again, are my beefsteak. And once again, 2 plants are usually plenty for me, but I'll plant extra just in case. These are my yellow tomatoes. And where do they come in? Oh, they come in a little packet. Isn't that nice? So we got a little packet here. And I did have a seed, one of the little seed things, but you know what? I can't find any of my gardening stuff, so I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is like this. I think I'd get more than that for what I paid, but that's okay. As long as I get them to sprout, hey, I'm pretty happy. And then you just kind of sprinkle them there. And of course, once they come out, you know, you're going to have to thin them out as they get bigger, and that's okay because I expect that. So there's all my seeds. Now the last one, let's see. The last one I have is, I think we're going to go with peas. Just because, you know, I love peas. I'm not so sure they love me, but only because of where they're at. So there we go with our peas. Okay, we're going to stick with those. That's lots. Now we have two other ones. The Cuca lemons, I believe is the way you say it. I don't know because I've only ever seen it in the catalog. But I thought they looked really cool. So, except I can't get that. I'm sure you can see there. There's not a whole lot there. There we go. We're gonna try these right here. And I think we're gonna try a couple rows. And I'll tell you why, because I got people that are dying to try this. And if it works out, I want to be able to give them some plants. If it works out. I have no idea how well it's going to work. We're going to find out in a couple of weeks, because they should have all germinated by then. Okay, so there we go. And last, just because I had extra rows, I got some seeds for cucumbers. I love cucumbers. These are pickling cucumbers too. So I might be able to plant 2 or 3 of these should they come up, I hope. The cucumbers are. They have nice big seeds, most of them, which is okay. Makes it easier to plant. I mean, the bigger the seed, the easier it is to mess with, right? And there. Okay. So now we're going to do this. All right. So we got to cover up my peas now. That kind of keeps them a little toasty warm. They still get in the sunlight, but you know what? It keeps the moisture in, which is what we want. So the last thing to do is to make a map, and that way I know what plants I planted where, because if I turn the pan around a few times, I'll never know. So top left-hand corner is where I put the toothpicks, and that way I'll know as they sprout what I've got. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it informative, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and that'll tell you the next time I upload a video, and you can enjoy that one too. If you want to leave a comment, please leave one below. I'd sure appreciate it. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.